Hi everybody, it's friend Daniel Hutchins. We're back again for Dan and Dallas, the dog show. Yes, Dan and Dallas, the dog show. So it's basically been kind of like a somewhat kind of slow upstart to the morning. It's been a slow but upstart to the morning. It's outside. It's kind of warm, but also kind of cold. It's kind of undescribable. I can't really describe the weather because it's kind of undescribable. Woke up at the crack of freaking dawn again because my mom had to go to school. Then after that, my dad had took a shower. He thought he got all the soap off him, but he took a second shower immediately consecutively after the first shower. And then after that, then we went out to go on a car ride the first time, but then he realized he had a dry mouth. So then we came home, sat around for like 15-20 minutes, but wait till he took some dry mouth lozenges, which are like these little candy things that are supposed to help liquefy your mouth a little bit, and temporarily liquefy the mouth. And then after that, I threw on a fresh shirt and my jacket, and then we went back out again. Then when we went back out again, we went to McDonald's and got some breakfast again. You guys are probably thinking, oh, all my dad and I do is stay at home and occasionally go to McDonald's, and that's like all we do. I said, oh yeah, all we do. My dad and I, all we do is Walmart, shopping, McDonald's, watch TV, and be lazy. Well, yeah, that's pretty much been the lifestyle for the last 3 going on 4 months now. But aside from that, not trying to take that on a negative light or a negative connotation. Some of you guys don't even know what the word connotation is. But aside from that, oh yeah, I tried to switch things up and have a French vanilla coffee at McDonald's. Never again. I'll never have a French vanilla coffee again from McDonald's for as long as I'm living down here, because oh my God, French vanilla is terrible. It's like, oh yeah, you think you got the power of the sweet and the vanilla, even though it's got the controversial yet French vanilla, even though we all know vanilla can't be grown in France because France is too cold. It doesn't even have the right climate, first off. And second off, vanilla is grown in Africa, not France. Hence the name controversial French vanilla. Again, history lesson over. But yeah. Also, my mom had a conversation with my sister last night. My sister seems to be under the illusion that, oh, coming up to Charleston in the middle of next month, they'll hopefully get my health insurance around, because that's the primary focus of her coming up in the first place. I don't have health insurance to cover my medicine. So my sister is coming up here to Charleston for 6 days. I have no idea what we're going to be doing, but what I do know is that she's trying to help me get health insurance because my dad is not working. My dad has not been working since October. So yeah. And if my dad doesn't get back on his feet and goes back to his job by the end of next month, February 28th, he's not going to have a job anymore. So that means instead of having 2 incomes, we'll only have 1 income, which means less money to play around. Which, not that bad, because like I said, I've lived 3 lifetimes already. I went through the baby stage lifetime where I barely even knew my own dad because my dad didn't even know what the concept of autism was. Second lifetime, basically I call that the comic book universe dad right there. And then third lifetime, growing up and realizing the world is a cruel place and having to pick up the responsibilities because, you know, shit happens. And when shit hits the bed, it's like, oh yeah, you gotta clean that up. It doesn't matter if you're Amber Heard shit in the bed, just like metaphorically speaking. But at the same time, you realize, oh, you gotta wake up, you gotta put your pants on, put your shirt on, put your shoes on, and go get them. And quite honestly, having that kind of mentality and attitude some of the life, it's kind of like, yeah, you have this. Yeah, sure, you might have that. Not everybody in this world is perfect, because in Daniel world, in the world of Daniel, the word perfect is non-existent. The word perfect does not exist. The world of Daniel Hutchins has no word for perfect, because perfect does not exist. It is a banned word. It is a banned word. Anybody who says it or tries to use it sarcastically is banned. It's a banned word. As I had said over on my other channel, I think it was Hutchins Hut Revolutions, I said, perfect is a banned word. It is a word that has no meaning. It serves no purpose. And quite honestly, it's one of the most hated words of the English language. So anyway, aside from all that other yammer, I did have some other updates. Okay, so announcements. And when you're up, you're up. And when you're down, you're down. And even when you're halfway up, you're either up or down. So anyway, with the announcements. Now, I do have to say one thing. Yes, I'll be posting more shorts over on the channel. They'll hopefully grow viewerships, because the viewership number right now in Hutchins Hut is down. The viewership of Hutchins Hut is down by 30%. Yeah, the views of Hutchins Hut has been down over 30%, which means either you guys are not subscribed, you're not following, you don't have an attention span to follow, or one of the others. I'm not going to try to spill the beans for you though, but viewership is down. So again, we are again still trying to go through the slums of comic book universe, because quite honestly, since the end of last year, we are kind of surviving through the slum of the comic book universe. Hopefully next month we'll at least see something. But again, as I have said yes before, Captain America: The Brave New World, yes, there were already people hitting up backlash on that, saying, oh yeah, people aren't ready for a black Captain America. Well, let me tell you, son, let me tell you this straight. If you never read Captain America Sam Wilson's stories from 2014, back in 2014 Marvel Universe, they actually made a comic book run of Sam Wilson, Captain America, from 2014, which actually was believed to be one of the better arcs of Captain America. Because, you know what also happened in 2014? Lots of things. The inclusion of Guardians of the Galaxy, Miss Marvel, Kamala Khan, the Champions, the Young Avengers, Miles Morales, The Amazing Spider-Man, even though we know his movies suck, Andrew Garfield having all the backlash and hate because his villains are tasteless, and honestly, everybody hated Andrew Garfield because, oh yeah, he had crappy story. He was cheated out the most. And quite honestly, I kind of like the Electro just a little bit. But I prefer the classic comic book Electro, not the skin tight pants, tight shirt, blue growing piece of shit, night light type of shit, Mr. Lightbulb, Kmart looking freaking ass looking Electro. No, I don't like him. I prefer the Electro that I grew up with is the one with green skin tights with the lightning bolts and the freaking lightning bolt mask. That's the Electro I grew up with and have grown to grow up with, because that, my friend, is the real comic book accuracy of Electro, which we've not seen because Sony is falling down on the job of making comic book accurate movies that are even worth a shit to even be like, oh yeah. It'd be like, oh yeah, we thought we were going to have a comic book accurate Electro in Spider-Man 3, the No Way Home. But no. It didn't even fucking come close to what we knew from the comic books. Not even close. It's like, oh yeah, we're going to switch. We're going to make a difference to Electro in No Way Home than we did in Amazing Spider-Man. It's like, no you didn't. All you did was make his costume crappier and basically change blue lightning to yellow lightning. But aside from the crap changes, I mean, having a black guy play Electro in the Andrew Garfield Spider-Man universe, I mean, I gotta give that brother some credit though. I like him. I like the actor who plays Electro. But at the same time, you have to take with a grain of salt and a grain of pepper and be like, hey, I realize that Andrew Garfield Spider-Man has been treated like crap all these years. I know that because I went to Times Square in Thanksgiving 2017 and I met the Amazing Spider-Man from the 2014 sequel. So I know I have met the Amazing Spider-Man before. Yes, I have met the Amazing Spider-Man. I've not met the original Spider-Man. And I've not met the new Spider-Man. But I can tell you, I have met the Amazing Spider-Man. I've met the Amazing Spider-Man. But I've not met the new Spider-Man, and I've not met the original. And I don't even know if I will even get past all the mobs of people to even see the new Spider-Man or the original Spider-Man. Because Spider-Man is a character that's of high fan demand. It's like, oh yeah, everybody wants to be like him. No, you don't. Nobody wants to be Spider-Man. I can tell you 2 reasons why nobody wants to be Spider-Man. 1, you're depressed all the time. And 2, you're dirt ass poor. And you're basically doing crime fighting and some lousy photography job for probably one of the most racist bosses in all of newspaper publishing. Yes, the most racist editor of all of newspaper publishing. Again, we know J.K. Simmons. Yeah, we know he's played J. Jonah Jameson. And yes, yeah, there was a time I actually thought J. Jonah Jameson was funny. Like back during the original Spider-Man films, he was funny. He was never, ever mentioned in Andrew's movies. And he was kind of, sort of mentioned in Holland's movies. But that's only just because Mysterio, when he revealed Peter Parker is Spider-Man, and he announced it to the whole world, it's like, oh yeah, that's where we got to where we are. That's why Peter Parker was so wanted across the world. He's not wanted across the world. He's wanted across New York City and the whole entire world. Because, you know, he's like, oh, Spider-Man, I knew he was a menace. Yeah, keep telling yourself that, JJ. Keep telling yourself that. Because it's like, oh, yeah, this is why we got to the multiverse. This is why we have the multiverse of madness. This is why we have the No Way Home. This is why we had the controversial firing of Kang the Conqueror. This is why we have Doctor Doom being resurrected again from the ashes by the guy who actually played Iron Man back just a few years ago. So again, remember, support your comic universe. Help save the comic universe by supporting and following my channels today. And as always, yeah buddy, yeah buddy, yeah buddy.